Hello and good morning, everyone. Let's take a look here. We're in week 7, quarter 2, and your bell work should be in the middle because today is Tuesday. There are 5 properties of a parallelogram. And you might say, well, what is a parallelogram? Well, a parallelogram is a rectangle, it's a square, and it's also something that looks like that. And the 5 properties are right here. Opposite sides are parallel. So number 1, opposite sides parallel, opposite sides congruent, so this side is the same as that side, and opposite angles congruent. So this angle right here would be equal to that angle. And the truth is, on a rectangle, they're all 90 degrees. But on this one, this angle here would be equal to that one right there, and this angle right here, opposite this one, would be equal. All right? Also, diagonals bisect each other. So diagonals bisect each other. In other words, they cut each other in half. So if this diagonal was 20, let's say, and this diagonal was 30, then the pieces, that little piece would be 15 and 15, and this one would be 10 and 10. They cut each other in half, and that's the word bisect. And finally, consecutive angles are supplementary. So in other words, this angle up here plus this angle would add up to 180, or this one and this one would add up to 180. Consecutive angles. All right, so say it to yourself right now. OOODC. That's how you memorize the 5 properties of a parallelogram. Let's keep moving. This right here is a parallelogram, and it actually should say it either in words or with that symbol. Okay? So these are called consecutive angles, so they are supplementary. So on this one, you're going to put 40 plus 10x plus 5 is equal to 180 degrees. This one right here, these are opposite angles, and opposite angles are equal. So on this one, you're going to say 5x minus 9 is equal to this one. So make sure you understand the difference. Opposite angles are equal. Consecutive angles add up to 180. And then you got to work it out. All right, let's keep moving. There's some EOC stuff that we need to review on a constant matter and some definitions. Okay, so I want you to write down these definitions. An angle is formed by 2 rays. So formed by 2 rays. And it has a common point called the vertex. So an angle, that's a ray, and if you connect this ray right here with that one, move it up, it would look like this. So this ray plus this ray forms this angle, and the common point is called the vertex. Make sure you know that. So 2 rays form an angle. A circle is the set of all points, from a fixed distance, from the center. So a circle, if you put a point and then you put a bunch of points that are the same distances, the radius, then you have a circle. And then finally, perpendicular lines are lines that are 90 degrees to each other. Okay, so copy these down, and you need to write these on your worksheet today. The more you write them down, the more you remember them. And what I'd like you to do also is to draw the diagrams. So if you look at today's worksheet right here for geometry, I want the properties OOODC and then write them down, a little parallelogram. And then I want you to work these, and then down at the bottom I want those definitions. And I'd like you to draw the diagrams and memorize those, okay? This right here is the rest of your worksheet for today. Let's turn our attention now to MCR class. MCR class, you got a factor. So here you can take out a 2, and you're left with x minus 2. On the bottom, you have x minus 2, so this one cancels, and your answer is 2. So you have to factor first. This one right here, the top, you can't factor. But the bottom, I bet you one of these is going to be an x plus 6. So a plus and a minus is subtraction. So it's 1 times 6, and then when you subtract, you get 5. So we want a plus here with the bigger one, and a minus there, and then this cancels. So your answer is not x minus 1, but it's 1 over x minus 1. Make sure you understand that. All right, on a new sheet of paper, copy this one down. So first, you got to factor out what they have in common. And so what these have in common here is an x. See how they all have an x? So take out an x. And now you're left with x squared minus x minus 42. Down here, it looks like you can take out a 2. So take out a 2, and you're left with x squared minus 10x plus 21, I think it is. Okay? Now you got to factor this more. So the top part is going to factor something like this. And the bottom part is going to factor something like that. So this is 6 and 7, subtract to give you 1. So you're going to put 6 and 7, and you want a minus here and a plus here. This one right here, a negative and a positive, is going to be 2 negatives. That's 3 times 7, and that adds up to give you 10. And on this one, you want the minus here with the 7 and the plus here. So this cancels. So your final answer is all of that. All right, so your assignment for today for MCR class is to work these problems here. And if you're not sure, make sure you ask questions. So I want to see that you actually factored the work. Again, if you don't know how to factor, then that means you need to get some tutoring. Either hire somebody, go at lunchtime, get a friend to teach you, or go back to the videos. They're all there. Okay? All right, so have a good morning, and I'll see you in class.